Well, thank you very much, Matt, and thank you very much to our wonderful panel. I know you guys have spent a long, almost 2 days here, so I won't keep you too long. But I just wanted to take the opportunity, first of all, to thank all of you for coming and lasting throughout 2 days. So can we have a round of applause for all of the people who are still left in the audience? The one thing that I always, the thing which we debate the most with my team when we set this up is, what can we do to keep the people from leaving before it's over? We still haven't cracked that, so we're going to try and crack that next time. But I think we had a wonderful 2 days. We heard from the Prime Minister about light touch regulation for our industry. We heard from Queen Rania. We heard from lots of entrepreneurs. We heard from users. Rather than try and summarize the conference for all of you, I am going to hand over to somebody who does this way better than I can. But before I do that, I'd like you to join me in thanking all the people in the back there, the organization, and the people who are outside of registration to make this a wonderful event for us. And at this point in time, I'll take comments from people who on Sunday evening told me at the cocktail event that this was a wonderful event. I'm happy to take that kind of feedback now. But without further ado, I'm going to invite Reeves, who's going to come and summarize this. He's known as the Web 2.0 poet. So he's going to summarize our conference in poetic form. Reeves.
This means I'm smiling. So does that. This means mouse, cat. Here we have a story, right? This is the start of the story where this means guy, and that is a ponytail on a passerby. Maybe this is where it happens. Maybe these are when. Maybe this is a cassette tape the girl puts into her cassette tape player. She wears it every day. It's not considered vintage. She just likes certain music to sound a certain way. Look at her posture. It's excellent. That's because she dances. Now he, the guy, takes all of this in figuring, honestly, geez, what are my chances? And he could say, oh my God, or I heart you. I'm laughing out loud. I want to give you a hug. But he comes up with that. You know, he tells her, I'd like to hand paint your portrait on a coffee mug. Put a crab inside it. Add some water. 7 different salts. He means he's got this sudden notion to stand on dry land and just panhandle at the ocean. He says, you look like a mermaid, but you walk like a waltz. And the girl goes, what? So the guy replies, I know. I think my heartbeat might be the Morse code for inappropriate. Anyway, that's how it seems. I'm like a junior varsity cheerleader sometimes for swearing, awkward silences, and really simple rhyme schemes. Right now, talking to you, I'm not even a guy. I'm a monkey blowing kisses at a butterfly. But I'm still suggesting you and I should meet. First, soon, and then a lot. I'm thinking right here, tomorrow, at noon. But I'll stay until you show up. Ponytail or not. Hell, ponytail alone. I don't know what else to tell you. I got a pencil you can borrow, or you can put it in your phone. But the girl does not smile. But the girl does not frown. She just says, no, thank you, you know? No, thank you. And that's it. That's a little modern fairy tale. That's the way I used to do things. That's what I used to do. I'm a poet. I used to come out with a voice and a microphone. I thought I was hot shit when I started making sexy, slideshows. But when I looked down, at my future today and I saw him at the end of this pod full of the video stuff, I decided that's what I was going to do. I decided today I was going to put on a filmmaker hat, and I'm not a filmmaker. I am a guy with a MacBook Pro and a Kodak EasyShare camera and insomnia. And I made a couple of different films. If we have sound on this one, that would be good. Can we get picture? So I figure this is a good place to do this. Can we get picture on this? Do you Google yourself? It seems like almost like a dirty question or something. I thought it was an appropriate place to ask it, and this is what I did.
Do I Google myself? Sure. Once in a while.
I only did it once, and then I got quite frightened at all the information that was there.
Lots of times I Google myself, and it's really cool.
Yes, of course I Google myself. I mean, we all do, right? Vain.
I think I've done it once. I didn't really clock anything. Yeah, no.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course I do.
I've never tried, really.
I sometimes Google myself.
Oh, of course I Google myself. All the time.
How often?
Manually? Well, manually not that often. I have an RSS feed, a standing search on my name, actually. I must admit.
Yes, I Google myself at least once a month.
I did it 3 times, yes.
Are you kidding? I know where I am. I don't need to Google myself. I will tell you this, though. I do Struggle, which is the combination of strangling and Googling. It's where I actually throttle the information that I need out of the internet. That's beyond search. That's just find.
Of course, I Google myself. I Yahoo myself. I Craigslist myself. I Technorati myself. Pretty much, I adore myself.
And who doesn't? So that was the first of the films, and I don't know which I like better. I like Mo Ibrahim saying, I did it 3 times. Like it's some kind of occult thing that you have to repent for. Or I do like Matthias saying that he kind of he's outsourced his manual Googling. I Google, but not manual. I don't get my hands dirty. So that's the kind of thing I was doing. This is the kind of thing that I used to do. I used to ask, little questions. What have we learned? All right, we've been here for a couple days. Some of us have slept, some of us haven't. We learned a lot of things, right? We've learned, for example, that James Boyle tells us the VCR is to the motion picture industry as the Boston Strangler is to A Woman Alone. And I like this. These are all from Google Images, and if you type A Woman Alone into Google Images, this is one of the first things that comes up. I have no idea why. Ask Larry, he probably is responsible for that. We learned other proportions. We learned that star doll is actually greater than, television. We learned that ignore equals ignore. We learned priorities, right? Christia and company helped us learn that maybe you should go like this. Water, then electricity, and then broadband. That's a nice way of going about things. And we learned about cultural differences, right? Luis Fernal told us that the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in my hometown of New York City is inexplicably, every once in a while, overrun with farmers. And when they get there, they're struck with an insane urge to consume Coca-Cola products for some reason. We also learned geography. This is a map of the world, right? Mr. Koo wouldn't go on record as saying who would be the best candidate, but he did say that China would be most likely to support Hillary Clinton. This is a map, in fact, of Hillary's support in China. The source is Victor Koo. The unfortunate thing, there's actually a second part of this map, and that, of course, is, China's not technically a state of the United States yet. This is Hillary's support in the U.S. It's not as favorable. And we did learn some other stuff. These 3 candidates, as much as they may fight amongst themselves, do share a particular common trait. So this is what we've learned over the time, and these are the people we've met, and as I met these people and I started wanting to know more, I see them on stage. I don't know if people say surprising things on stage. I don't know if people really lit it loose. All it takes is a couple questions, you know? And so I asked them. This is the question I asked. If you could bring one person back from the dead, who would it be? And Matt was telling us earlier that nowadays when you hold up a video camera to someone, they go, oh, I don't want to do it. Well, not this crowd. Everybody I asked was very willing to step in front of the camera. But you know what they do, still do? They always ask that question like, this isn't going to wind up on YouTube or anything, is it? And you're like, oh, it is. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to put it on there. Let's have a look. Who would you bring back from the dead?
John Lennon. It's got to be John Lennon, yeah. Perfect.
I'll say my great-grandfather. He was a writer.
My father.
Care to say why?
Oh, I loved him so much.
My great grandmother. No, actually, no. I'll change that. My dad's dad.
That's what your dad said.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys said the same answer.
Probably be Elvis. Yep, Elvis Presley.
Heath Ledger and Elvis Presley. And Audrey Hepburn.
I said one person.
Oh, yes,
You have to choose between Heath and Elvis. Go. Which is it? Heath or Elvis?
Heath Ledger.
If you could bring one person back from the dead, who would it be?
Abraham Lincoln. Deng Xiaoping. My girlfriend?
Your girlfriend's not alive?
Yeah, she's not alive.
Ah. My son.
My grandmother.
Gandhi would be pretty good. I'd start with Gandhi.
Who would be second after Gandhi?
After Gandhi, my mom.
So it goes Gandhi, and then your mom.
No, there's no particular order.
But there is a particular order. You know, you limit people to one, and that's what they come up with. This is typically what I like to do. I like to find something that I can obsess about. I like to land in a situation and come out the other end with just a story. That's it. I don't know if it turns into content or not, although I like to think I'm that small percentage that is making the content, but just something I can latch onto and be obsessive about. And I started the instant I rolled up here at the Grove, and this is what I chose to obsess about, and this is the feature of our last film. It's this. This is the tag. Terry was showing me around my room. Terry's the guy who would like to bring John Lennon back. And he points this out to me, and it's for breakfast in bed. You've got English breakfast, you've got American breakfast. They're the same price, which is interesting, because considering the dollar, the American should be like staggeringly high. But what I liked about it was this side of it. You have these in your rooms if you're there, and it just says cock-a-doodle-doo on it. And when Terry explained it to me, he said, just hang the cock-a-doodle-doo on your door, and you'll get the breakfast. And I was like, he's from Liverpool, so like his rooster had an accent. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm American, I'm listening going, he's not even saying it right. Like my rooster's right, Terry's is wrong. Anyway, so I figured, do roosters speak with an accent? Can we at least agree on one thing that sounds like something?
Well, in Norway, we say kikeriki.
In Germany, we say kikeriki.
In Spain, we say cuckoo. In Italy, we say kikiriki.
In French, we say cocorico.
Go.
In Moldova, we say cockeriku.
In Scotland?
In Scotland, we say cock-a-doodle-doo.
In Sweden?
In Sweden, we say kuckeliku.
In Swahili, we say
Well, in the Arab world, we say cuckoo.
In Israel, we say kokoreko.
In Brazil, we say kokoroko. Ugalu kokoroko.
So I don't know really what is more exciting, what makes me happier, to have Gilberto Gil sing me out on my final film, or to have the former Prime Minister of Norway just starting it off. And I thank you very much. I think everybody was in these things. That's really all we're going to do, and that's all I do. And again, I don't sometimes care about what it ends up at the other side. I just want to hear a dirty joke from a guy who's old enough to be my grandfather, watch a guy cry in a hallway talking about his family, and make a tween laugh. That's enough. That is a story. That might be content. It is not King Kong, but it is mine. Thank you very much, and have a good ending. Thank you.